Okay, this video is going to be about Bill Goldberg, and I've been watching his DVD, The Ultimate Bill Goldberg Collection, or whatever it's called. And besides for his entrance music being edited, the original WCW, the classic Bill Goldberg music being edited, I kind of, been thinking, is there any chance that Goldberg can make somewhat of a return, a short-term return to the WWE? And that kind of I know he's had the run that lasted. It was about a year, and it wasn't the greatest thing. He came in as the WCW guy, and I guess he didn't what's the best way to put it? He didn't he just didn't cut it. Is pretty much the most raw. I wanted to think of a clever way, but he just didn't cut it in that year he was there. Um, his run was about, what would you say, 97 to 2001, where WCW went under business, and then he came back in 2003. So he didn't have the best long of career that I'm sure he would have hoped. But for the short term that he had, you have to admit that he took a company that was already at his peak of superstar, like, just power. You had Hogan, Nash, Hall, Sting. You had you just WCW had a bunch of guys. I don't have to go through the list because there are so many main eventers that were there, but when Goldberg came, he took that company from like way up here and he brought them all the way back. And WCW was they did good with Goldberg to a certain point, but to WCW fans, Goldberg will always be a legend. And I think if he came to WWE now, because when he came in 2003, WCW was still somewhat fresh. People still remembered who the man was, but now, almost 10 years later, well, over 10 years later, I don't see a lot of people remembering the name of Bill Goldberg and just how great that man really was. And I know a lot of people have their own opinions of him, but for me, I was always a fan. I'll always be a fan. And meeting him, just you know, he he told him, well, I know there's a lot of interviews going around saying that if he were to come back in interviews, he said it would be for his son just to see him wrestle, as now I guess he's a little older than he was 10 years ago. So it would be is like a personal sentimental thing to have my son wrestle. Much like Shawn Michaels, who said if he were to ever wrestle again, it's when his kids are old enough to know what is going on. So when he came back, if he does come back, Ryback versus Goldberg was always a dream match, I think, for a lot of people. But now, considering where Ryback is, I don't think people can give two shits about that match. But for me, I'd love to see him back, even if it's just I don't know, because when you look at it, there's not too much things you can really do with Goldberg. You have the match with Big Show here, maybe a Brock Lesnar rematch or something, or Triple H maybe, the Shield. But when you look at it, Goldberg really doesn't slot in where you would hope. At least I think Sting slots into a lot more places than Goldberg would. But I think just for that nostalgic thing, just to have him come back for a very short period of time, because he is almost 50, and then again he's in good shape. He looks same as he looked in 1998, just little couple grays, but yeah, that's all. What do you guys? I don't know. I don't know what you guys think. I know a lot of you guys are kind of pro Goldberg or anti Goldberg. It's either you love him or you hate him. But for me, I love Bill Goldberg, so I love to see him back. So that's all. See you guys in the next video.